See, I'm in the red.
Hello. Welcome aboard. I don't know if you're seeing me out there or not. Welcome to the Hurricane SPLIFFY show. I'm here. I don't know if anybody else is. We're trying to do this. I'm trying to do this. Why don't you talk up with me a little bit? I might mention that I'm a licensed medical marijuana user in the state of Illinois. So I'm street legal. Hello, Robert Burke. Welcome aboard. Good to see you. Care to talk up with me? We're fast approaching 420 here in the Midwest. I'm packing today. So I'm gonna do a little concentrate later. I have a new technique. I guess we could dispense with the formalities and go ahead and not bother to wait for 420. I think that's okay with me if it's okay with you, Bob. You don't mind if I call you Bob? Got some semi sad news, but hopefully it all works out okay. My bestie's daughter, as I reported last week, is headed out to Fargo Sunday for the nationals, wrestling nationals, and she was down at U of I for training and sprained her ankle. So she was casted up this week, and they took it off. It was day before yesterday, and they've been icing it and working on it. And she leaves tomorrow, and my bestie leaves Monday. And hopefully all will be well during the events that she has to participate in all next week. So we'll see what happens. But go girl! You got to do great out there. I'm sure she's gonna. So, look up. So, a few things going on in the world. We got everybody come back from the G20 summit, and I guess Ivanka Trump kind of weaseled her way into a few places she really wasn't wanted. I saw that French television released her trying to insert herself into a conversation where she got shot some looks, like she didn't really belong there. And then she stepped, they lined up for a photograph, a group photograph, and Mike Pompeo had to like wedge himself into the photograph and sort of push her out of the way, like she was standing where he was supposed to be standing, and he made it plain to her that she was in the wrong place. And it appears, from what I saw in the news this morning, that there's a little bit of a feud going on in the White House between Jared Kushner and Donald Jr. over who's going to be running the campaign for Donald Trump this upcoming election. I guess Kushner is kind of trying to push Don Jr. out of the way. So I'm going to have to see what happens there. I guess there's a power struggle amongst the kids. So I don't know what's going on there. But, and now this. And now this. We have Bud of the Week.
That's what it's doing now.
Oh, I can talk about it. Okay. So our Bud of the Week is Starduster. Comes from Culture or Cultivate, which is a new supplier at my dispensary, and it's a sour diesel and a Ms. Universe number 10 hybrid, and it's a major sativa. So I don't know if you can find that around you, but seems to be pretty good. It's kind of a little raspy on the throat, but certainly heady and kind of peppy. I like it. So we're gonna sample a new product today. I'm not much for soft drinks, but saw this one here, thought we'd give it a try. It's Pepsi Mango. I like fruity things, so I thought I'd give it a shot. So here goes. Doesn't smell like mangoes. Well, maybe a little. extremely effervescent. Very sweet. It says that as a splash of mango juice. So, um, not a discernible amount. Just kind of makes it a little sweeter, I think. So, I think I gotta smoke that taste out of my mouth. If you'd care to join me. Yeah, be careful. But that doesn't mean I'm not going back in. Robert, you still out there? Oh, we have 4 folks watching. Who's watching out there? Oh, okay. Just want to make sure. Thought maybe I was talking to myself. I don't know what else is new with me today. Let's see. There were other subjects I wanted to talk about. Let's see what's going on out down the front. It's been freaking hot here. It's been upper 80s, low 90s all week. And rainy, of course. Still no appreciable crops. It's going to be a bummer summer for the farmers. I was invited to a 4th of July party at Mac and Crystal's, the folks who own the keg. But I didn't go. It was a rainy afternoon and hot and humid, and I stayed in where the air was. So I watched TV much of the day. Mrs. Spliffy wasn't really interested in going. She doesn't drink, and the courteous thing to do was to just stay home with her, and you know, I could have gone up there by myself, but I didn't want to leave her home alone. Wouldn't have been nice. I don't know that I'd recommend the Pepsi with mango. But then again, I'm not much of a soft drink drinker anyway, so. And so I'd leave it up to your own personal taste. 70s today, Bob? That's not bad. I could handle the 70s. I think it's closer to 90 here today. Let me check. temperature. It was 88 earlier, and it's dropped to 80 now because we have a storm front moving in. So it's going to start raining like a son of a bitch real soon, I guess. There's heavy rains coming. 80% chance of thunderstorms this afternoon and evening. So we got that to look forward to. So, Ms. Pariah, welcome aboard. Good to see you. Can't read that. Oh, I went to see my cardiologist. It was my 6-month checkup. You know, I had a couple of angioplasties done last fall, and then he sent me to cardio rehab, where I had to go exercise 3 times a week at the crack of frickin' dawn. And yeah, and now I finished that up. But I went to go see him, and surprise, surprise, I lost 19 pounds. So he was real happy with that, and so was I. And but then I got the bill the other day, and even with Medicare and my copay, they charge an outrageous amount for that cardio rehab. I mean, it's like, it's just a friggin' health club with nurses, you know. I mean, yeah, you wear a monitor and that kind of shit, but still. I mean, my copay was over $400 for 36 sessions. So, fuck that. There's a local health club in Coal City, like 10, and it was 20 miles away. And there's a local health club, and thank you, Ms. Pariah, for the congratulations. There's a health club in Coal City just 10 miles away, and it's only $20 a month. So I think I'm going to join up over there, and I can go over there and use their equipment and keep at it. Because I have an exercise bicycle right here, and I have a treadmill in the bedroom, and they make great coat racks. But I think if I don't pay for it, I won't use it. And that's just the way it is. I have to get up and get out, and then I'll do it. If it's here, I won't use it. Because I've joined health clubs before, and when I was a member, I went and I did it. So I know I know that if I do that, I'll do it. Because I'm just that kind of guy. If I put my mind to something, I'll do it. So that's what I'm going to do. Anybody else going to take a talk now? Care to join me? Even though I'm not coming apart? So, I talked about something on the first show, and I want to go over it again because if you watch the first show, it was all fucked up, and you couldn't see the video. So what I did was I developed something I call gobbing. Excuse me. I developed something I call gobbing, which is like dabbing taken to a new level. And I find it to be a lot more convenient and a lot more time saving. And just in general, it works better for me. So I thought I'd show you this technique. Excuse me. So what I have is a jar of, it's upside down, jar of outer space. And my Las Vegas Flamingo Hotel ashtray that I swiped back in 1973, which is what I dab out of. Well, I gob out of. And what you do is you take a considerable amount, like that, okay? And you put that in your dish. The whole thing. I'm kind of shaky, so give me a second here. That's about all that I'm going to get off of there, I think. Is that enough? That's not enough. Let me get some more here. We're going to do this right. We're going to need some more. So here I got some more. Put that in there too. I got another tool here. There. Now you get that nice big old gob in there, and you light your torch, and you heat up the gob, and you get it all melty and runny. You don't want to burn it. You just want to get it to run. And then once you get it all melted like that, you get it to ooze around in there till it forms a puddle. And then you got a nice great big puddle to dab off of. And you heat up your nectar collector. Come on, do that. Heat up your nectar collector, and you don't have to worry about where you hit. Got a whole fucking puddle full of shit you can't off of. anywhere in the bottom of the dish. And you don't you don't you don't have to keep going back into the jar. Dab after dab. So I call it gobbing. I think it's fun to do. I find it to be so much simpler. So you might want to try that. So, I told you about the Mike's Hard Lemonade crisis. Well, I got tired of squeezing the fucking, the Mike's Hard Limeade crisis. I got tired of squeezing the fucking limes into the lemonade. So I found that the Mike's Hard Black Cherry isn't bad. So I switched to it, and it's some pretty good stuff. I like this stuff. It's tart enough, so it's kind of taking the place of the limeade, at least until the limeade comes back. So I'm good with that. So it's pretty tasty. I can get by, although I'd still like to have the limeade back, because this is still a little sweeter than I would like, you know, but it's working for me. So, what else is new in my life? Not much. It's been kind of a slow summer, being warm as it is. Hasn't been much to do. Summerfest in Braidwood will be coming up shortly. I never attend that. The following week will be Catfish Days. I generally go to the Rustic and have their whole catfish dinner, or take it, at least get it for carry out. You get a whole deep fried catfish, headless, of course. You wouldn't serve it with the head on things. That'd be silly. And you get a half a corn on the cob and some steak fried potatoes, and I think that's about it. But it's cheap and good, and it's the only people who serve a whole catfish at Catfish Days. Everybody else just serves fillets. So it's kind of a treat. Miss Pariah, glad you found another you like. Me too. Me too, not easy. You know, I mean, you get hooked on something and then they take it away from you. You know, it's like I bake cheesecakes and I sell them around here, or I'll trade for ground venison or bluegill fillets. I make a damn good cheesecake. Just a plain cream cheesecake. And I was using these, Glad made these things. They're plastic baking pans. And they were really nice. They were black plastic baking pans. And they stopped making them in this shape and size I use. They still make them in all other kinds of shapes and sizes. And they just stopped making them in the shape and size I use. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with them. So here I was stuck, you know, without a pan I could use. I finally found somebody who makes a non-stick aluminum pan, but I'm not real crazy about it. The plastic ones are so much better. Hey, San Paulo, welcome aboard. Strain of the week. We have a strain of the week. The strain of the week is, I did this, I can't even read the bastard, I'd been smoking it. Starmaster from Cultivator. No? Is that what I said? You make me read things. From Cultivate. There we go. And it's a sour diesel Ms. Universe number 10 hybrid. Heavy sativa. That's our strain of the week. That. Let's smoke. The graphics fit the weather here. Intense lightning storm. Really? Sorry to hear that. Reasons arranged. Welcome aboard. We're trying here. We're trying. We're trying with the style. Ghost in the machine. It's starting to get cloudy here. Oh yeah. I watched the president's. Sorry, I never meant to call him that. That guy from the Oval Office. Yeah, I watched. I watched his 4th of July speech, and I gotta say that it was very patriotic and stirring and apolitical. He didn't go off on a tangent or anything, and was very respectful of our country. And I thought it went very well. I wasn't real crazy about the militarization of the whole thing. I felt that if you wanted to honor those military soldiers that had to participate in that thing, then you should let them go home and barbecue with their families in their backyard. I thought that would have made more sense. I don't know. Tanks don't belong. You know what it is? Is back last Veterans Day, he wanted to put on a great big show of force military parade costing $94 million. And Congress said no. They would not appropriate money for that. The military said no, we will not divert funds for that parade. So we did it on the 4th of July. Okay. And he has yet to reveal how much that fucking thing cost us. Okay. We still don't know. And had he politicized it, then his campaign and the GOP would have had to pay for part of it. So I'm sure that's why he stuck to the script. And here's a little known fact. The band, the Jefferson Airplane, were named after the plane that Thomas Jefferson flew in the Revolutionary War. In case you're wondering why the picture's there in the corner, that's what that's all about. I couldn't help but get a dig in over that. You know, I mean, there's been a lot of jokes, so I'm sorry, that's breaking me up to the point of tears. That was the funniest thing, Paul. You know, there was the teleprompter malfunctioned, or there was water on the screen, or or something. Or we had an Air Force back then, one to the other. Ah, oh, it's hot here. It's not so hot right now, but it's been hot. And it's gonna be hot. It's like hot every day. But so that's but I don't know, kind of ran through my topics today. It's getting grayer here. I'm sure there's a storm headed my way. So it'll be happening. I guess I better take cover under a cloud of smoke. Or we could gob some more. I think I can do that. We got it nice and pink this time. All glowy. There we go. Yeah, this is Goblin's good. This is fun. I like this. This might be one of the best things I ever invented. I don't know that I ever invented anything else. That might be why it's the best. nose run. Oh my goodness. That was fun. Ah. Oh, wee. You should see the pile of Kleenex I have behind this table. It's about this tall. I can't read. Where's the Godzilla walking? Where's that Godzilla walking? When you're choking, hold your arms up in the air to helps to stop it. What am I doing with this? Proprietarily. Were those nifty graphics made proprietarily or downloaded from the internet? I don't know. I didn't download any graphics. I didn't do it. It's not my fault. I wasn't even there at the time. Reason strange. There he is. Oh, you were laughing at the Godzilla, not me. I understand. I understand. I gotcha. See, I'm in a unique position. I I should open up another laptop here because I can't see the screen. All I can see is the chat. So I should open up another laptop so that I can see what you see because I can't see what you see. Reasons strange. I found a book bag on my porch. It had Pineapple Express in it from a dispensary. Did it have any books in it? Did you keep the weed? I'd have kept the weed. Because he could have said, what weed? Ah, I see, you knew who it was. Yeah, that's different. Yeah, it's a different situation. So, yeah, I never found, the only thing I ever found was uh, uh, a hit of blue cheer acid between the cracks of the floor of a place where it was. We used to go to this bar called the Mushroom. It was in the basement, and this guy's cousin tended bar there on Tuesday nights, and if we went there, we'd get free pitchers of beer. So we'd go there on Tuesday nights for free pitchers of beer, and we could go upstairs into this room and smoke. And I found a hit of blue cheer acid stuck between the floorboards. That's the only thing I ever found in the drug world. But that was back in the 70s when I guess, I guess people lost drugs all over the place back then. So I don't know. That was it. Is the dude who used? Oh, he's a dude who used to live there, and he stopped by to talk to your mom. I see. Oh, that's funny. Oh my goodness. Oh, that is funny. No, I guess you couldn't under those circumstances. You might tell on you to your mom. Of course, maybe you could have kept it and split it with your mom. You know, there's always that possibility. I know I could have worked out that kind of arrangement with my daughter. So, oh, I see. Wow, that's a shame. But I guess that's her thing. You know, what are you gonna do? She could use a ball. I see. Well, I think it's important for everybody to chillax at least once in a while. You know, it can't hurt. It's never killed anyone. You know, you can't say that about alcohol. I'll drink to that. Although I didn't smoke weed till I was 21. I I tripped before I smoked weed because back then weed was a gateway drug to heroin. But I had read the LSD story, and LSD was a gateway to enlightenment. So I was willing to be enlightened, but I didn't want to become addicted to heroin. So it was the weekend of my 21st birthday. A friend of mine who in the Marine Corps had coincidentally snorted heroin uh, took me into the woods, and we smoked marijuana for the first time. That was my 21st birthday. So, and I was already out of the military for 6 months myself. So, but you know, I wouldn't have even considered doing heroin. I was more interested in enlightenment than intoxication. So I tried mushrooms and such, but never delved into those other things. Never made much sense to me. Nor would I stick needles in myself. I never understood inflicting pain upon myself to have a good time. You know, that never made sense either. You know, it all seems so icky to me. I kind of like to stick to Mother Nature. And of course, stuck to her for a long time too. So, been faithful. So, speaking of which, we need to do some more of this. Why don't you join me? You made a mistake last night. What'd you do? Reasons to range. What'd you do last night? What kind of mistake? Did you get sprayed with oil? I don't understand. the fumes. I see. Oh, from the WD-40? Oh, that sucks. I don't know. We have central air here. Oh, computer air duster. I see. Oh, just sprayed out all the crud in it. Oh. Yeah, what else could you use though? I guess. Guess you could vacuum it out. That might have been better. Noisier, but better. Oh, shame about the headache. Did you get over the headache? Were you able to take something for it to get over the headache? So, but I'm going to be wrapping things up here in a few minutes. We're coming up on an hour. I think we're going to maybe say goodbye. Coming up on 4:20 somewhere. You chat more, but it's a waste of energy here. I see. Yeah. uh, I know. I feel drained myself. I don't know. Pretty much feel the same way. But I'd like to get to the next 4:20 with you people at least. You know, we could get that far. But I gotta put something fresh in this bowl before we get there. I don't know what time it is exactly. Let me see. It's 5:15 here. I got a little bit of time. Let's see. I suppose I could, you talk my hands are numb from typing. Uh, that's not from the fumes. Yeah. Oh, shit. You guys are funny. Huh. Um, so, what could I could tell a joke, I guess. Anyone care to hear the one about? No? Okay, I won't. Fair enough. Oh, I see. I thought you meant don't tell a joke. Oh. Oh. I didn't know who you were conversing with there. So that's funny stuff. So we got 2 minutes here to fill before we talk some more. So go ahead and tell the joke. See if I know a 2 minute joke. There's this fellow walking along the roadside, and excuse me, a fellow driving along a country road, and walking along the roadside is a farmer, and running behind the farmer trying to keep up is a pig with a wooden leg. The guy stops his car and he says to the farmer, he says, "How come that pig only has 3 legs?" The farmer said, "Oh, this pig here," he says, "this pig, he says, we owe this pig everything." He says, "Our house caught fire in the middle of the night. We were all in bed asleep. He says, "Pig ran squealing through the whole house, jumping on everybody's bed. So we all got out of there before the house burned to the ground. We lost all our possessions, but if it wasn't for this pig, we all surely would have perished in that fire." The fellow says, "Well, that's all well and good, but it doesn't explain why he's only got 3 legs." Farmer said, "Shit, a pig this good, you can't eat him all at once." It's 4:19, so we're almost there. We are so close. I think I could almost get the pipe to my head. 4:20. Here we go. that was nice. And it was nice sharing with you. I think we're going to sign off now. And I hope you have a happy rest of your weekend and the rest of your life. And remember, there's nothing funny about peace, love, and understanding. How many people did we have along the way?